This weird 1962 Cthulhu mythos story by Carl Jacobi is about a character named Emily Rhodes who wants a larger apartment, so she answers an ad in the local newspaper for a fully furnished apartment that not only has furniture, but also 12 rooms, 2 stories, and its own conservatory. I guess since she can't afford the place on her own because she's just a painter, which they don't really elaborate on as much, she invites her friend Edith Hellman to join her in this venture. However, this apartment comes with something truly horrible, something that will alter her life and the life of her friend forever. That is, of course, a dirty aquarium! Which is in fact the title of our story, the Aquarium. And they are right, having an aquarium is truly terrifying. There's such a hassle to clean and maintain. And to make matters worse, this aquarium is located in the library of the apartment. If it springs a leak, it could ruin all the books. These real life concerns about owning an aquarium are actually not brought up in the story. Instead, we get people treating the aquarium as if it's this malevolent, otherworldly, out-of-place object or something? It's really bizarre. This aquarium does not, however, have any fish in it. Bummer. But it does have these very bizarre, otherworldly looking shells in its murky water. Are you terrified yet? No? Okay. So, like in all cosmic horror / Cthulhu mythos stories, there's always some neighbor, friend, or despot who tells the people of the unusual happenings of their surroundings. Here enters the character Lucius Bates, who tells them of the unorthodox behavior of Horatio Lear and his brother Edmund, who used to have ownership of the apartment that they are living in now, who were deep-sea divers and well-known conchologists, who were not only famous for gathering shells from the deep, but also, interestingly, for publishing a paper about ancient beings of the deep and distant ancestries and then combining it with demonology. Because, you know, Cthulhu mythos. Also, Lucius mentions Cthulhu's name, so you know some otherworldly shit's going down. Finally, at the end of his explanation, he tells them that they should get rid of that monstrous aquarium. Even though knowing about this history, the ladies decide to stay at the house. However, things start to get very strange when one of the cats disappears, and Edith starts to slowly lose her mind as she starts to read the books that are in the library that the aquarium is located in. And you know, since this is a Cthulhu mythos story, you know those books are all forbidden texts that no mortal was ever meant to read. Which begs the question, how were they written to begin with? But that's another story. And even though she is slowly losing her mind and the books terrify her, Edith continues reading them because, you know, read texts equal lose mind in a Cthulhu mythos story. In this altered state, Edith then starts sleepwalking, which one night Emily follows her to the library where she sits in front of the terror of terrors, the aquarium. This happens over the course of a few nights until one day, Emily is working on a painting and notices it's particularly quiet in the apartment, so she wonders if her friend Edith is still home. She then decides to go look for her and eventually finds her in the library sitting in front of the fish tank, except this time, half of her face is eaten, there's a trail of blood leading to the fish tank, and the water of the tank is now a pinkish color, which is supposedly stained with the blood of her now deceased friend. She then runs out of the house, screaming in terror, and this is where the story ends. So, was the aquarium evil? Were the shells evil? I don't know. They never explain. This story is very silly and kind of funny that everybody holds this aquarium with some kind of malevolent force. It's a dirty aquarium, guys. Calm down. Although pretty run-of-the-mill for a cosmic horror story, I still really enjoyed the tale. If you want something that's not totally scary, but also kind of fun to read, I recommend it.